We don't need our Guzma and Hala anymore. Actually, we don't need that one. Don't need that one. We can actually save our energy with... I think I might just get a Didine. We can actually save our energy with a rod. We have one rod in this deck. Oh dear, I just... Shit. I should have got a Sirfetch'd. My bad. Let's just discard something. Let's discard Solgaleo because we don't need it in our deck anymore. We get to use a supporter card still, so let's not waste our turn. There we go, a Sirfetch'd, thank god. Okay, so we didn't draw a supporter card. We get to shuffle that energy back. So we might have a few in the price card, so let's shuffle it now. Even if it's just one, we have only 6 basic energies in this deck, so let's not take any chances. There we go, 6, all 6 in the deck. So we're gonna touch all 5 basic energies because experience share and energy grounding, as I said, as I've repeated time and time again, only works for basic energy cards. So all 5 spread it all over our 3 Pokemons. We're gonna Magical Ribbon again. They're probably counting on us not having another Marnie. Magical Ribbon, I'm not sure why they have a full EV deck. But you never know, that could actually be a good thing. So let's do a Bird Keeper because we can't retreat with our Mewtwo Mew. We're gonna waste our Aurora energies. Yep, there we go. Okay, let's put one of that one. Just because we don't have... we actually have another experience share, so my bad. Should have put... let's see if we can rod. Nope, no need to rod. Let's just put a Didine actually. We have no basic energies in the deck, in the discard pile, so no use rodding. We got a few switches, that's good. So 200 actually knocks out the Sylveon. So EV GXs are all 200 HP. So if you're paired against the EV GX with your Sirfetch'd V card, that is like the jackpot. Hello everybody, welcome back to Bearware the Terrible. So today we have a new deck in the expanded format for you called the Everlasting Spear. So in Everlasting Spear we have our Noble Knight card with the Resolute Spear ability, allowing you to attach any amount of fighting energy from all of your other Pokemon to your Sirfetch'd as you switch Sirfetch'd into the new active spot. So it is a very nifty attack because you get to kind of shuffle your energy in play. So that is a very cool way of attacking because you don't need to attach energy directly to your Sirfetch'd. You only need to attach energy to your other Pokemon and collect as much as 3 energy to be able to switch, to be able to collect, to be able to transfer those energy into your Sirfetch'd V to do your Meteor Smash hit for 200 damage. So that is a lot of damage, but you can't attack during your next turn. Sirfetch'd V can't attack, so you're gonna have to think about switching Sirfetch'd V to a new Sirfetch'd V or to another card and then switch back to your Sirfetch'd V so that you can reactivate its attack. So how do we do that? We do that with a lot of Bird Keepers, with a lot of switches, and with a lot of air balloons in this deck. We have 3 air balloons, 3 Bird Keepers, and 3 switches. The reason we don't have 4 of each of those cards is because we want to save space for other cards in this deck. We have Lanturns in this deck. Lantern allows us to save those energies, basic energy that after knockout. So if your opponent knock out a Pokemon, if your opponent knock out any of your Pokemon in play that has energy, basic energy attached to them, Lanturn saves those energy and you reattach those energy to Lanturn. You don't discard those energies from play. So those energies remain in play attached to Lanturn or with your experience share. We also have experience share in this deck. With your experience share, you get to save any energies that your opponent knock your opponent out. Sorry, if your opponent knock your Pokemon out, those energies don't get discarded. So those energies get remain in play and you get to save those energies. So that means no energy hopefully gets discarded, but if they use Crushing Hammer, if they use Team Flare or Team Yell, they still get to remove those energies from your battlefield. So the most important thing about this deck is to keep those energies in the battlefield, because if we have 3 energies is enough. If we have 3 basic fighting type energies in play in the battlefield, we can recycle those energy constantly with our experience share and with our energy grounding. That means we get to switch Galarian Sirfetch'd, a new Galarian Sirfetch'd, we get to place it in play, switch it into the active spot, and reattach those energies onto our new Sirfetch'd to do a right off the bat Meteor Smash hit, to do an immediate an ambush hit of Meteor Smash. So we don't need to do anything. We don't need to prepare those energies all over again. We don't need to attach it directly to Sirfetch'd. We don't need to worry about anything. All we need to do is collect those, get out those switch cards, get ready those switch cards to place a new Galarian Sirfetch'd and switch it into the active spot. That's all we need to worry about. Because once we have energies in play, once we have enough energies in play, we don't need to attach anymore. So how do we get our first 3 energy cards attached to our Sirfetch'd or to our other Pokemons? Because we have experience share and energy grounding to, you know, if any of those gets knocked out, it's better to attach your energies one at a time to each of your Pokemon rather than attach a lot to only a single Pokemon, because that way you get to save those energies with energy grounding and your experience share. Otherwise, if one gets knocked out, you only get to save 1 basic energy card from that Pokemon. If you accumulate way too much energy on a single Pokemon, then you're gonna waste a lot of energy. Whereas if you attach only 1 to each of your to many Pokemon, then if one gets knocked out, you get to save that single energy back, and the rest remains in the battlefield. So the most important thing about this deck is to make sure that a lot of energy remains in the battlefield so that we get to reshuffle those energy with our Resolute Spear ability and do our Meteor Smash hit very easily. Because if we have a lot of energy in play, you know, it's very easy to do Meteor Smash. So that's all we need to worry about. Well, the first thing we need to do is to attach energy fast into our Pokemon. As much as 3 is enough, but with Soul Burst we get to attach 5 energies, and we get to attach any 5 special energy as well. But obviously we want to be attaching basic energies because we can only recycle basic energy with our energy grounding ability and with our experience share. So experience share and Lanturn does not allow you to save special energies. It's only basic energies. So we want to be attaching basic fighting energies with our Soul Burst GX. So how do we use Soul Burst GX? Because Solgaleo GX is a stage 2 Pokemon. So we do that with our Mewtwo Mew GX. We need to discard our Solgaleo into the discard pile, place it into the discard pile by using either a Quick Ball or an Ultra Ball or some way of discarding our hand, like a Didin GX or a Professor's Research. We can even use a Guzma to discard our Solgaleo. So how do we summon the Solgaleo so that we can discard it? We are not using Battle Compressor in this deck, so we do need to summon our Solgaleo into hand so that we get to Quick Ball to discard it, or Guzma and Hala to discard it, or the Dean GX and Professor's Research to discard that Solgaleo. So we summon it by using a Cherish Ball or a Evolution Incense. We also have a Pokemon Communication to summon, and also an Ultra Ball. The bad thing about Ultra Ball is you need to discard before summoning that Solgaleo, meaning if you only have an Ultra Ball and you have no other cards to discard your hand in your hand, then you can't discard that Solgaleo. You can only summon it. So sometimes it's better to have an extra Cherish Ball, but I quite like Ultra Ball because sometimes you might already have a Solgaleo in hand. Then you can discard it with an Ultra Ball and search for some other cards that you need. For example, another Sirfetch'd V or a Lanturn or a Chinchou. So you never know what you need, you know. And we also have the other supporter cards in this deck. We have a lot of setup cards. We have 1 Professor setup, Professor Oak's setup, and 2 Sonias to call out our basic Pokemons. And we have 1 Colress, 3 Bird Keepers, 1 Cynthia, 2 Marnies, and 2 Professor's Research. And we have 2 Guzma and Hala to get out our special energy our tool cards, and also stadium card. We don't have stadium cards in this deck, but it allows us to discard our hand. That's the most important thing. It allows us to discard our Solgaleo if we have it in hand, or if we have a way of summoning it in hand. And it also gets our special energy, because we do need our special energy to be able to use our Soul Burst GX, because Soul Burst GX is steel energy. The attack cost is steel energy, and we don't have any steel energies in this deck. We are playing only fighting basic energies, so we do need Guzma and Hala to summon our Aurora energy to be able to deal Soul Burst with our Mewtwo and Mew GX through the Perfection ability. So it might be better to have Chaotic Swells in this deck, because Perfection, the ability of Perfection, can be nullified, can be disabled with their Power Plant. So we don't want any Power Plants to be placed into the battlefield. So it's better to have either Marshadow or Chaotic Swells in this deck. But the reason I don't have those cards is because I find it faster. You know, I find this formation to be faster, because once you can do your first Soul Burst within the first turn, if you can do it on your first turn, and if they don't play a Power Plant yet, so we are counting on them not playing a Power Plant on their first turn, which is very likely. So if you can do Soul Burst in your first turn, you don't need to worry about Mewtwo and Mew GX anymore. The Perfection ability don't need to work anymore. It only needs to work on your first turn, because we are intending to use Soul Burst in our first turn. It is quite likely, I would say 70%, 70 or more percent likely that you can do Soul Burst within your first turn, because we have a lot of cards to summon that Solgaleo. We have a lot of cards to discard that Solgaleo. We have a lot of Mewtwo Mew GX, a lot of ways of summoning it, a lot of ways of summoning our Mewtwo and Mew GX as well. And we have Guzmas, Halas, and Aurora Energy, and we have Dedenne GXs to draw out those cards as well. So it's not that unlikely to draw our Aurora Energy within the first turn if we go second, or within the second turn if we go first. So it's not that unlikely, guys, because we have 4 of those special energies, and special energies turn up very easily. You know, it really depends on your luck, but I would say special energies turn up fairly easily compared to basic energies. So if they don't turn up, then you have your supporter card to search for those energies, or you can Dedenne GX and use other supporter cards, hopefully to draw out those energies. But by the second or the third turn, you will be able to do your Soul Burst. If not, then you have to rely on attaching one by one your basic energy cards or Aurora energies to your Galarian Sirfetch'd, because Meteor Smash actually works with Aurora energy as well, because Aurora energy is all type energy, and because Aurora energy represents fighting energy as well, your Resolute Spear works for it as well, but you don't get to save it with your energy grounding. So that's something to note, because Aurora energy works for Resolute Spear ability, but it does not work for energy grounding ability. So it also does not work for our Experience Share card. So Experience Share only works for basic energy cards, as I already explained. So we also have Air Balloons and 6 basic fighting energy. We only have 6 because we don't want to waste those spaces for other cards. We need other cards. 6 is enough. If a few turn up in our prize card, then we'll have to rely on those Aurora energies, which we cannot recycle, or which we have no way of retaining in the battlefield. So it's better to have more basic energy cards in this deck, because a lot could turn up in your prize card. For example, if you have 5 in your prize card, then you only have 1 basic energy to use your energy grounding ability and your Experience Share with. So all those cards, all those energy retainer cards, Lanturn and Experience Share, they're only good for 1 basic energy if you have all 5 in the prize card. So that's not a good thing. So we want to have as many. If possible, I would recommend adding 2 or 3 more basic energies in this deck. But for now, I find this a good arrangement, because it has scored me a lot of wins, and it's very fast, and you know, it's reliable. For me, it's pretty reliable. So 6, I would say 6 is enough, because not you know, you won't be that unlucky to have all 6 in your prize card, is what I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead and go for gameplay. So today we are featuring Wild West music from a bunch of different channels. One of it is Raibush Band, and we are also featuring from Lord Music, Bear Gaming Asia, Fortune, and a bunch of other music libraries, Sea of Audio, a bunch of other channels as well. Check out our playlist. We are featuring Wild West music today, so let's go ahead for gameplay with the Everlasting Spear deck. So the reason it's called Everlasting Spear is because your energy is everlasting, and we are featuring this deck off of the Resolute Spear ability. So it's Everlasting Spear, the meteor smash that never stops hitting. We are facing a Charizard deck. So Charizard decks are not good because we are playing a 2-price card. It's always better not to be facing a Charizard deck, because Charizard from Vivid Voltage or even the Charizard from Team Up is actually pretty dangerous because they can do a lot of damage with only a 1-price card. They can knock out a VMAX, they can knock out a V for only a 1-price card. So they are trading 2 prizes for 1. So we need a way of summoning our Solgaleo. So I'm gonna discard my Mewtwo Mew. Let's do our Bird Keeper because I don't want to waste my supporter cards. So as you can see, you can already switch your Aurora energy, but I don't want to do that because let's just place the second one. So if they don't discard my energy, I'm gonna attach a fighting energy and then research for some new cards, because we can't find our Solgaleo for some reason. We have a lot of Cherish Ball, Ultra Balls, a lot of balls in this deck, Evolution Incenses as well. And we didn't even get a Dedenne. But we drew with our Bird Keeper only 3 cards, so I just didn't want to waste that Bird Keeper because we have very few supporter cards in this deck. Not many supporter cards. So they end us. That's actually pretty good because we could be drawing better cards, and we are drawing more cards now. We have 2 extra cards in hand. We can get a Dedenne for Solgaleo discard, so that's really good. Let's hope they don't knock out our Mewtwo Mew. I don't think they can. There we go, thank goodness. Okay. So that's pretty good. Let's switch that for a Dedenne GX. We have a lot of Dedennes in this deck, don't have to worry. And then get back the Solgaleo. Touch our air balloon. Touch that energy. Discard the Solgaleo. At least we get to deal Soul Burst 1 time. So Rod actually helps us collect back our energy, so that's a good thing. So I'm gonna I think I'll save the Ultra Ball for later. Let's just save those cards for later. I'm not sure if I should though. Should I get another Lanturn? They might just... Yeah, let's just get another something. Oh, we only have one Lanturn. So let's just get a Dedenne. Okay, I actually messed up right there. Alright, let's get 4 fighting energies. Sorry about that. And 1 Aurora. So let's attach Aurora to one of our Sirfetch'd. Mewtwo Mew is dying, so we can't attach any energy to it. So let's attach 1 to across all of our Pokemons. 1 each. The reason is because we can actually switch with Sirfetch'd to collect back those energy onto our Sirfetch'd. And we can attach experience shares and evolve our Lanturn the next turn, so don't need to worry too much about that. Let's just hope our experience share turn up before they knock out our Dedenne or our Lanturn. We need 2 hits to knock out the Reshizard, but they need 2 hits as well, so they already hit once. All they need is to hit another time. They can even hit with their Outrage because they have a Muscle Band. Oh, they're gonna waste their Flare Strike. They probably can switch later or something, but they wasted their Flare Strike because they can't use Flare Strike the next turn. So we're gonna switch out to our Sirfetch'd. Evolve our Lanturn. Colress. Draw 6 cards only. I actually should have used Colress just now, but we can get a with a Guzmahala another experience share. Sorry, our first experience share. So first Meteor Smash. We didn't get to do Soul Burst in the first turn, but we did attach 5 energies on our second turn, so that's not too bad. And now they can't use Flare Strike. Even if they do, we get to collect 1 of that energy back. Max Elixir. The scariest thing about fire decks is they have Welder. So basically the attack costs are 0. All of the attack costs of fire Pokemons are 0 just because they can charge it super fast. Alright, we have to decide now. Not much to decide actually, but we have to Bird Keeper switch. We don't have to use a Bird Keeper actually. So we can Guzmahala to discard a Marnie or a Cherish Ball, perfect. So we switch, collect this energy back. Let's do that one. They're probably gonna knock out our Lanturn, so let's just, sorry about that. Let's put Dedenne's energy back. They might knock out our Lanturn, so we don't want to waste energy on that Lanturn. So let's get our experience share, attach it to Dedenne. Yeah, let's do that. We can actually get a Dedenne though. Nah, let's not do that. We might actually need that Dedenne. Let's just discard the Marnie. Get a Dedenne the next turn. So no attaching Aurora. Dang it, we actually need we need another Sirfetch'd. No matter, let's just try, see what happens. We got 3 prize cards anyways, so let's hope we get a Sirfetch'd from those one of those 3 prize cards. Because we have one, there we go, we have 1 Sirfetch'd left. So it could be in our prize card or in our deck. So we got a lucky shot. We got our Sirfetch'd from our first prize card. That's a lucky draw there. Because that's our last Sirfetch'd. So the theme of today's music is the Noble Knight theme. The Wild West Noble Knight. Galarian Sirfetch'd V. Everlasting Spear. Alright, they're playing a Blacephalon GX. Probably gonna use the Mind Blown. They put it in the Lost Zone though, so they can do as much as 200 damage with a Welder. But they could actually do more if they have max elixirs. But Welder forces you to draw cards. So max elixir Welder is actually not a good combo because you might draw all of those fire energies, and max elixir, you need those fire energies in your deck. So they can actually add 30 damage now. So that's bad. If they play a Welder, they can knock us out. But we can switch out to a new Sirfetch'd. They actually have 1 prize card left. So, oh dear, they won the game. Oh dear. I didn't realize that they have 1 prize card left. Because they knock out our Mewtwo Mew GX, we are set back by a lot. So, that's actually scary. They can just switch or attach an energy retreat, add another damage. Yep, they can actually knock us out now. Add 30 damage. I think they already attach it to the Blacephalon, so they can't actually, oh, they can scramble switch. They can't retreat, but they can switch. So we got knocked out because they knock out our Mewtwo Mew GX. We can't do anything about that. So that's the bad thing of having a Mewtwo and Mew GX in your deck. Is that it's a 3 prize card. If your opponent knocks it out, they draw 3 prize cards. So let's go for another game. So good thing about this deck is that if you can do your first Meteor Smash, you don't have to worry the rest of the game. You're set. You don't have to worry about energy attachment. All you need to do is, you can attack turn after turn after that. You don't have to worry about anything actually. But if you can't do your first Soul Burst in your first turn, then you're pretty much screwed because they can knock out your Mewtwo Mew GX for 3 prize cards. And all they need to do is knock out another 2 cards to win the game. They don't need to do much. So we pretty much buffed this deck to make sure we draw out the right cards to do a first turn Soul Burst. So back then we couldn't do, in our first game we couldn't do the first turn Soul Burst, but right now we can because we have Aurora Energy, we have a Mewtwo Mew in active spot, and we have a Solgaleo at hand as well. So this is a really good draw. It's actually very likely for us to do a first turn Soul Burst because I've actually perfected the formation of this deck, the arrangement, to make sure that it has a high chance of us doing Soul Burst in the first turn. So it was actually unlucky that we couldn't do it in our first turn on our last game, which was why it got knocked out before we get to retreat it for a Sirfetch'd. So we are facing another fire deck. We don't need our Guzma and Hala anymore. Actually, we don't need that one. Don't need that one. We can actually save our energy with... I think I might just get a Didine. We can actually save our energy with a rod. We have one rod in this deck. Oh dear, I just... Shit. I should have got a Sirfetch'd. My bad. Let's just discard something. Let's discard Solgaleo because we don't need it in our deck anymore. We get to use a supporter card still, so let's not waste our turn. There we go, a Sirfetch'd, thank god. Okay, so we didn't draw a supporter card. We get to shuffle that energy back. So we might have a few in the price card, so let's shuffle it now. Even if it's just one, we have only 6 basic energies in this deck, so let's not take any chances. There we go, 6, all 6 in the deck. So we're gonna touch all 5 basic energies because experience share and energy grounding, as I said, as I've repeated time and time again, only works for basic energy cards. So all 5 spread it all over our 3 Pokemons. Crushing Hammer. There's nothing we can do about that. A Crushing Hammer, it really doesn't... the deck is not built for Crushing Hammers. So there we go. If they use a Tool Scrapper, we can't retreat unless we attach another Air Balloon. So we can actually almost knock out their Cinderace. Another Experience Share and another Sirfetch'd. So let's use a Research actually. Yeah, let's speed our draw. Research for Bird Keepers and switches. Retreat to that Sirfetch'd just because we can. Touch those 3. Because if they knock out the Didine, then we don't get to use that Didine's experience share. So we only get to retrieve 1 energy from that Didine. So they're playing Charizard V, probably a VMAX, nothing to worry about. Actually, it's actually something to worry about because they can be pretty fast. So should we Bird Keeper or Colress? We don't need more cards actually, we don't need any more cards. All we need is to keep switching. And we actually need another Sirfetch'd because another Sirfetch'd would be very useful. Let's attach it to our Mewtwo Mew. Oh, they just let us win. So they probably caught on to our strategy and got annoyed and just let us win. So let's go for another game because that was a bit too short. I prefer to go second every turn, every game. I prefer to go second first because if you go second, you get to use a supporter card, you get to attack. And for this deck, it's very important to go second because you get to do Soul Burst on your first turn. Whereas if you go first, it might be more likely for you to draw the right cards for 2 turns. because you get to do it. You don't get to attack on your first turn, but you get to do it on your next turn, because you are actually a little bit faster if you go first, but I prefer to go second just because you get to attack and you get to use supporter cards. We have to be careful here. So we get to use a Dedenne. Let's use a setup then, because we have a Dedenne. We get to use a setup. Setup actually does nothing because we don't want to be playing Mewtwo Mew, because Mewtwo Mew is a 3 prize card. If they knock it out, they get 3 prize cards. So that's really bad. So we're gonna have to decide. I'm probably gonna get a Bird Keeper, so I'm just gonna attach that Bird Keeper or switch. So I'm just gonna attach my experience share to that one, because if I attach Air Balloon, I'm actually wasting my Air Balloons on my Mewtwo Mew. I could be using I could be attaching Air Balloons to my Sirfetch'd instead, which is a better deal. So let's Dedenne to discard our Soul Burst. Hopefully draw Aurora Energy from our Dedenne's ability. No Aurora, but we get another Sirfetch'd. That's good. We get to evolve the next turn, so that's not bad. The ads just doesn't go away. Sorry about that. The ads will just go away on its own. So a Sylveon GX. Well, I've never seen this before. It's like a promo card. The art is amazing, eh? So if they use Magical Ribbon, we actually get to Marnie them. There we go, Magical Ribbon. It was a really good attack, but not anymore because Marnie, you have the Wick card as well. Wick allows you to shuffle, forces both players to shuffle all cards from their hand back into their deck and draw the same amount of cards. That means you don't draw back the same cards, obviously. So Wick, Marnie, Red card is not available in standard or expanded anymore, but you still have the Peaking Red card, which does the same thing as Wick, but only to your opponent. So let's do an evolution, and let's do... I don't want to talk too much because my opponent might just get frustrated and end the game or something. So Marnie. We can actually Guzma Hala for Aurora Energy, but oh well, we got one anyways. Should have used Guzma and Hala. So we can actually Dedenne for more experience shares, but no, I'm just gonna save my Bird Keeper. As I said, we don't have many supporter cards in this deck. It's better to save your Bird Keepers and Professor's Research. Let's attach one to Dedenne just to spread it out. If Lanturn gets knocked out, at least we get to save it to our Mewtwo Mew GX. But the funny thing about Lanturn is that if any one of your Pokemon gets knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, you get to save one of their basic energy card. But for experience share, it only works for your active Pokemon. If your active Pokemon is damaged by an attack, and if it's knocked out, then you get to save your active Pokemon's energy card, basic energy card. So if they damage your bench Pokemon, if they knock out your bench Pokemon, you get to save an energy from that Pokemon with your energy grounding, but you don't get to save any energy card from that Pokemon with your experience share. So that's just the nitty-gritty. Every fine detail matters. You're gonna Magical Ribbon again. They're probably counting on us not having another Marnie. Magical Ribbon, I'm not sure why they have a full EV deck, but you never know, that could actually be a good thing. So let's do a Bird Keeper, because we can't retreat with our Mewtwo Mew. We're going to waste our Aurora energies. Yep, there we go. Okay, let's put one of that one. Just because we don't have... we actually have another experience share, so my bad. Should have put... let's see if we can rod. Nope, no need to rod. Let's just put a Dedenne actually. We have no basic energies in the deck, in the discard pile, so no use rodding. We got a few switches, that's good. So 200 actually knocks out the Sylveon. So EV GXs are all 200 HP. So if you're paired against the EV GX with your Sirfetch'd V card, that is like the jackpot. Because everyone is just 200 HP. For 2 prize cards. EV GX is 160. Oh, they just let us win. So, I guess that's it. So that is all for our Everlasting Spear deck featuring our Galarian Sirfetch'd V card from Vivid Voltage. So it has the Resolute Spear ability, allowing you to shuffle those energy cards in play and transfer them onto your Sirfetch'd V to do an immediate Meteor Smash hit for 3 energy cards. So how do we charge those energy cards as fast as we can is with our Mewtwo Mew GX and our Soul Burst, as I explained already. So Soul Burst allows you to attach 5 energy cards from your deck into your onto your Pokemons in any way you like. And it's better to attach to each of your Pokemon 1 energy at a time, so that you get to retrieve them back with your energy grounding ability and with your experience shares. And it's always better to attach basic energies, because energy grounding and experience share only works for basic energies. And we also have obviously lanterns and experience shares to collect those energies back, to make sure those energy cards don't get discarded after a knockout. So if they knock out your Pokemon, you get to collect those energies back, and you get to keep them in play, keep them in the battlefield, scattered in the battlefield, so that your Galarian Sirfetch'd can readily collect them back as it switches into the active spot. As a new Sirfetch'd V switch into the active spot, it can collect those scattered energies back to do a new attack. So it's better to have 2 Sirfetch'd Vs in play, so they get to switch those 2 cards around to do a back-to-back Meteor Smash hit with 200 damage every turn. Because if you only have 1 Sirfetch'd V in play, you're gonna have to think about doing a double switch to erase the Meteor Smash effect of you not being able to attack the next turn, and play Sirfetch'd V back into the active spot so that it gets to attack. So if you have 2 in play, all you need to do is switch once and then transfer the energy to the new Sirfetch'd V to attack, and then switch again the next turn, switch again the next turn, and so on and so forth. So all you need to do is switch once if you have 2 Sirfetch'd V in play. So it's better to summon a new Sirfetch'd V, place it into play, so that you get to do that a single switch for a single transfer and back-to-back Meteor Smash hits. Sorry. So if you only have 1, obviously you have to do a double switch, but sometimes you can't do anything because they have already knocked out 2 Sirfetch'd Vs, or maybe 1 is in the prize card and they knocked out 1. That is why we have a rod in this deck to recover, to recycle that Sirfetch'd V, because we only have 3 Sirfetch'd Vs in this deck, because we need space for other cards. And we also have 4 experience shares in this deck, because experience share is a tool card. It's easier to attach it to your Pokemon freely than to evolve a Lanturn. Obviously, Lanturn's ability is better, because if your bench Pokemon gets knocked out with energy attached to it, you get to recycle, recover, retrieve those energies back into play. So you attach it back into your Lanturn, meaning it stays in play. So energy cards stays in play if your bench Pokemon gets knocked out. Whereas experience share only works for your active Pokemon. If your active Pokemon gets knocked out with energy attached to it, then experience share gets to save those energies. So that is why we have 4 experience shares instead of more lanterns, is because experience share is easier to attach to your Pokemon. But obviously they can use Fuel Blower, they can use Tool Scrappers, they can use Faba to discard your experience share, they can even use a Zerosic. So it's easy to discard your experience shares, but it's better. Experience share is actually better because it's faster, it's more handy, and it's quicker to attach to your Pokemons than a Lanturn, because Lanturn you need to set up your Chinchos, you need to evolve, you need to find the right cards, and sometimes you discard them and you need to use a rod for it. It's kind of clumsy, you know, to have too many Lanturns in this deck. That's why we only have 2 of each Chinchos and Lanturns, because we need space for other cards. Other cards are more crucial. So that's all for this deck. I don't want to go on too long. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We feature cool new decks every 2 or 3 days. Please check us out and give us a chance. And we are also building more new decks with the Battle Styles expansion coming out. It's coming out on the 19th of March, so we are very excited to build new decks with those new powerful cards. And we'll also be reviewing, we'll feature a video on reviews of the new Battle Styles cards as well. So tune in for that. That's all for this video. Have fun and don't worry about the small losses. If you lose too much, as I keep saying, go to the theme format, because the theme format gives you a fair chance of winning as long as you choose a Sun and Moon Onward deck. If you choose a Sun and Moon Unified Minds and Onwards deck, you have a fair chance of winning. So, you know, if you lose too much, just go to the theme format and play a lot of theme formats so that you get to collect more wins and you build your confidence. Once your confidence is built, you get to go back to the standard or expanded format and fight there, and then you can score more wins, because sometimes it's actually hard to win the game if you don't have the right cards, if you haven't scored the right cards, if you don't have a Didin GX, if you haven't find ways to get those good cards, you can't really win. You can't really build a strong deck to win in the expanded or the standard format. So it's better to build yourself up first from the theme format so that you get to collect better cards to build better decks, and then you get to win in the standard or expanded format. So that's all for this video. Have fun, keep playing, keep collecting new experiences, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day, guys, and bye for now.